Hunter Biden found guilty on all accounts, everything, the whole shebang. I knew this would happen because you know what? That's one where you actually had plenty of evidence, like plenty. They tried to do a plea deal. He had already admitted to everything before. But Noriega, the Judge Marianne Noriega, was like, this doesn't make any sense. You see, they were trying to make sure that he would forever get off on any tax evasion charges and also on any foreign lobbyist charges, because you see, he never registered as a foreign lobbyist despite lobbying on behalf of China, lobbying on behalf of Ukraine. To me, those are the real stories. That's what I really want to see uncovered. And I'm still waiting on James Comer. Come on, buddy. Come on. Like, let's get going. Jim Jordan, James Comer. You get a lot of information there. We're talking about tens of millions of dollars that allegedly disseminated to multiple members of the Biden family through multiple different LLCs, courtesy of Hunter baby, who was working the globe and never bothering to register as a foreign agent when he did it. The concern I have is just exactly what went down specifically vis-a-vis Ukraine back when his dad was vice president and in charge of Ukraine policy. You see, if you're in charge of Ukraine policy, that means you're kind of pulling the purse strings for what Ukraine is actually going to get, which means it's a little awkward to have your son on the board of a major energy company there that was trying to do more business all around the globe, but was getting a little bit stuck in the mud because, well, it was corrupt and it was being investigated by a guy named Shokin. So Victor Shokin was investigating Burisma. Burisma goes out and hires the son of the vice president in charge of Ukraine policy to the tune of $83,000 a month times two, because they hired his co-founder at his company as well. Pretty good board gig, if you ask me. Like, this doesn't exist in business, certainly anywhere in this country. So anyway, Hunter,
give me a break.
Yes, he was just convicted. Guilty on everything. And apparently, let's go to some live stuff, because I think Biden is actually talking about all of this after his son's conviction. He's already told us he's not gonna pardon him, but I suspect we may start to hear some different things. I think Drew has some footage that just came in. Let's go to Hunter Biden. Forgive me, the big guy. Talking about Hunter Biden. Take it away, Drew.
So, give me a break. No, I mean it, seriously. And by the way, if they want to think to take on government if we get out of line, which they're talking again about, well, guess what? They need F-15s. They don't need a rifle. Folks, look, this is crazy what we're talking about. Because whether we're Democrats or Republicans, we want our families to be
crazy what we're talking about. Can we play that again, Drew?
So, give me a break. No, I mean it, seriously. And by the way, if they want to think to take on government if we get out of line, which they're talking again about, well, guess what? They need F-15s. They don't need a rifle.
Okay, like, I can't even
Folks,
understand.
Look,
he's trying to somehow get into the gun safety thing. Listen, you know what? Your safety starts at home, buddy boy. Your son shouldn't be dropping it, nor his girlfriend, who sadly was the widow of his brother. Tells you all you need to know, perhaps, about the family. Anyway, they dropped it in a trash area near a school, and Secret Service went and found it. I mean, this is pretty bad and incriminating stuff. And there's plenty more that I'm not even going to get into, because we keep it clean for the kids here on the Trish Regan Show. I mean, this is just bad. This is like one bad dude, okay? So yeah, he's guilty. So now what happens? Does the president pardon his son? I think he has to. I mean, I still go back to he's kind of a mean guy for running in the first place, knowing that his son had all these problems, knowing that this was all going to come out, knowing that your political enemies are going to go after you like they did. I mean, this is pretty, you know that your son's messed up, and yet you went forward with all of this anyway, knowing that it would all come out. So now he sits there and says he's not going to pardon his son, Hunter. This is what he told ABC News, World News Tonight, David Muir, the anchor, over there in France just last week.
As we sit here in Normandy, your son Hunter is on trial, and I know that you cannot speak about an ongoing federal prosecution. But let me ask you, will you accept the jury's outcome, their verdict, no matter what it is?
Yes.
And have you ruled out a pardon for your son?
Yes.
You have.
I'll just say, I changed my mind. Of course he's going to change his mind. I'd be shocked if he doesn't change his mind. I think that's the consensus right now. A father's going to pardon his son. Why the heck else are you president, buddy? Anyway, the whole thing is really sordid. It's really bad. But look, we're in a bad place. Like, America is in a bad place because America has bad leadership. But it's not just America. I mean, we're going to get to this in a second. You look at Canada, you look at France, you look at the UK. It's bad all around. I mean, I hate to go back to the World Economic Forum and George Soros, but this open society thing, it's not really working for us, right? At least for those of us that have succeeded, you're actually dragging everyone down. And people are noticing, and this is why you're having this revolt, if you would, all around the globe. Rob Horton and I, my partner over at 76research.com, and we were just talking about this vis-a-vis Mexico the other day, because both of us actually started our career in emerging markets. Rob has had a legendary career on Wall Street, more than 20 years as a stock picker, as a fund manager, myself, of course, as a journalist, as a financial journalist. But I did start out trading emerging markets, including Mexico, and the same with him. And so what's really fascinating is this is a woman, Claudia Sheinbaum, who is talking all about porous borders and how that's going to work for Mexico. Well, I don't think it's really necessarily going to work for Mexico. I don't think they'd love it if we all just suddenly showed up on their doorstep and said, hey, we want to collect welfare here. She's coming up with all these FDR-like products, right? Social Security-esque type stuff from Mexico. Handouts, which may be how she got elected. But she also has this idea of porous borders, maybe because it works for her. As Rob was saying, you know what? She gets to blame her enemy. So how do you think about emerging markets right now? How do you think about investing all around the world? How do you think about investing in stocks here in the USA? I'm talking companies like NVIDIA. We did a big thing on NVIDIA. I encourage you, if you have not, you got to go look at those model portfolios, because we're looking out for you in ways that, frankly, the financial newsletter industry does not. And I'm going to say that with a certain kind of conviction here, because you get a lot of hacks out there doing this. And Wall Street doesn't really, because Wall Street is so conflicted in its interests. And so Wall Street's conflicts are plentiful. I mean, think about the ESG, DEI stuff that they were pushing forever. For goodness sakes, now it's come back to bite them in the you-know-what. So much so that they just came up with a new stock exchange out of Texas. Don't mess with Texas. Rob and I get into that too, both at the 76 Research YouTube channel at 76 Research. And of course, in our newsletter, I do encourage you wholeheartedly to go and look at these model portfolios though, because you're talking 10 to 15 stocks that are really good plays. We just recommended another actually in the income builder portfolio, because one of the stocks there had really just outperformed so significantly. We didn't want to become too big a portion of your portfolio. But the good news is it outperforms so significantly, right? Because we're giving you, I hope, some very good advice on where to get in and how to think about these things. It's not the kind of stuff where you're in and out and you're in and out. This is long-term plays, really hopefully to set you up for the future. Remember, even if you're in and out, if you're somebody who's like, oh, I want to make a quick buck, you're going to pay taxes on that buck. So think about this from a tax strategy perspective, from a long-term perspective, and also from an income building perspective. In fact, we have an income builder portfolio there at 76 Research, 76research.com. Go there, sign up, if nothing else, for the free stuff, right? All right, turning to Biden, back to Biden. You know, this is going to be hard on him, right? His son, guilty, guilty, guilty. And he can't help but blame himself just a little bit, as he should. Maybe he won't, because, you know, maybe he has no conscience whatsoever. But if I were him, I'd be feeling kind of bad.